alleged ties to Saddam Hussein. The committee, led by Senator Norm Coleman of Minnesota, alleges that he received oil from the Iraqi government for his opposition to UN sanctions against Iraq. The committee is investigating allegations of corruption in the UN's Oil for Food program. Here is Tuesday's testimony by Mr. Galloway. It lasts about 45 minutes.
Mr. Galloway, I'm pleased to have you before the committee today. What I'm going to do is briefly summarize the evidence before I give you a chance to give your sworn testimony. The Oil for Food program was used to support those who were favorable to Iraq. Former Iraqi Deputy Prime Minister Tariq Aziz and Iraqi Vice President Taha Yassin Ramadan confirmed this. I would think that you would admit that your efforts to oppose the sanction were well received by the regime. I know it's been quoted to you many, many times, but your, I would say, infamous statement to Saddam Hussein on January 21st, 1994, where you said to Saddam, Your Excellency, Mr. President, I greet you in the name of many thousands of people in Britain who stood against the tide and opposed the war and aggression against Iraq, and continue to oppose the war by economic means, which is aimed to strangle the life out of the great people of Iraq. You then went on to say he greets you in the name of the Palestinian people. You went on to note that I thought the President would appreciate knowing that even today, 3 years after the war, I still meet with families who are calling their newborn son Saddam. You went on, ultimately, at the very end, to say, Sir, I salute your courage, your strength, your indefatigability, and I want you to know that we are with you, and I believe it was in Arabic, Hatta al-Nasr, Hatta al-Nasr, Hatta al-Quds, which means until victory in Jerusalem. And I also would note that you have stated that you deeply regret those comments and that the comments were not aimed directly at Saddam, but they were aimed at the Iraqi people. In the fall of 1999, you headed a 2-month London to Baghdad bus trip to gain support for lifting the sanctions on Iraq. We have your name on Iraqi documents, some prepared before the fall of Saddam, some after, that identify you as one of the allocation holders, that your allocations were then used by Fawaz Zurakat operations operating under the name of Iridium Petroleum and the Middle East Advanced Semiconductor to actually lift the oil. We know, too, based on the statements of former Iraqi officials as well as some documents, and in the cases of Vladimir Zhirinovsky and Alexander Volshin, correspondence and documents, that allocation holders knew that surcharges or oil allocations were paid to Saddam Hussein, and that allocation holders were aware of this and responsible for the payments. We have also heard testimony regarding several documents retrieved from the Iraqi Ministry of Oil that demonstrate how Iraq allocated oil to its friends and allies. Exhibit 13, which you've seen, displayed a SOMO chart that demonstrated Vladimir Zhirinovsky's dealing with Machino Import in Phase 11. That chart also lists contract M1104 with Middle East Advanced Semiconductor. Footnote 93, her testimony regarding a SOMO commercial invoice dated June 27, 2002 that shows Middle East Semiconductor loaded 2,360,860 barrels of Iraqi crude oil pursuant to SOMO crude oil sales contract M1104. Exhibit 12, we heard testimony regarding correspondence from the executive director of SOMO to the Iraqi oil minister providing details of contract M1104 and listing your name in parentheses next to Middle East Advanced Semiconductor and Fawaz Zurakat, who we know lifted the oil. Again, statements of detainees, including former Vice President Ramadan, confirmed that the name in parentheses, your name, is the allocation holder. We heard testimony regarding contract M1104, which was signed on December 12, 2001 between SOMO and Fawaz Zurakat, president of Middle East Advanced Semiconductor.